Justin Myrick, discussing topics from education to finance. All the advice you'll need on life right here, you'll find it. With kings who weathered every climate and come out shining, so come and get inspired. My uncles and me. It takes 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 my uncles and me.
What's up, family? Thank you for tuning in to the My Uncles and Me podcast, a podcast with a purpose where we have accomplished older men give advice to a younger man on their insight, their wisdom, their knowledge, how they got to be where they are, and what they would say to the younger generation that's coming up after them. So, if that's what you like to hear, then stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the My Uncles and Me podcast, guys. Woo! All right, so today is a rather interesting episode and an actual first for the My Uncles and Me podcast. Today, we have none other than the mayor of Spartanburg, Mayor Rice. Y'all, give it up for Mayor Rice.
Justin, thank you.
No problem. So, let me read his bio. That way y'all can know who we have. I mean, I know who we have next to me, but I want you to know. So, Jerome Rice Jr. was elected mayor of the city of Spartanburg November 2nd, 2021, and was sworn into office January 10th, 2022. He previously served 3 terms. Now that's 12 years. Let that sink in. 12 years as District 5 city councilman for the city of Spartanburg. While on council, Jerome served on various boards, including Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium Board, Piedmont Community Action Board, Youth Council, Grassroots Leadership, was a member of the National League of Cities, and became a Riley Institute Diversity Fellow. As mayor, he continues to serve on many of these and more. Jerome is a graduate of Spartanburg High School, USC Upstate, and Wake Forest University. He has spent 30 years mentoring youth through Project Right Start, Boys and Girls Club, and coaching middle school basketball and high school football. In addition, Jerome has worked 28 years in Spartanburg School District 7, serving in many capacities, including ISS, attendance worker, attendance supervisor, parent and community involvement facilitator, and student transition specialist. Jerome has been married to Shay Rice for 25 years. Okay, 25 years, we see you. And they have 4 children and 5 grandchildren. Jerome is a lifelong learner and believes the world teaches us all something new every day if we are willing to accept it.
Thank you, Justin. And just one correction, just in case Shay watched this. Mm-hmm. My wife is Shay. Mm-hmm. We're 27 years strong, we like to say. 27. And I know you got the bio, you looked it up, but no fault of yours, but 27 years strong. Wow. And that's my lifeline.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 27 years. I mean, this bio, you've just been out here in Spartanburg getting.
Been doing it, man. Been doing it.
So again, thank you for coming on the show. I've got a few questions for you.
Okay.
So, as mayor, I noticed that you like to you like to stay active. You like to stay fit.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, why did you start your Miles with the Mayor event, and how was that going?
Miles with the Mayor is going great. I mean, unbelievably great. But there's something I ran my platform to run for mayor on public education. Mm-hmm. Public safety, and public health.
Right.
And part of my public health piece was to be fit. Black men, for whatever reason, don't like the doctors. We don't like to go. We don't like to hear whatever news he's giving, even if it's good news.
Right.
So I was a big fan of Tom Joyner, and Tom Joyner always had take a loved one to the doctor day. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I can have my loved ones come walk with me. So not only is it an opportunity for me to get a little physical activity in, but it's also an opportunity just for ordinary citizens to come out, have a conversation with the mayor, have a conversation with the city manager, have a conversation with other elected officials who always come out and support. My city council members always come out and support. And police chief, just any number, but also to learn about something that's happening in Spartanburg, some new neighborhood, some new initiative, or some things that have been here that you may not have known about as well.
That's true. I've always noticed, even though I'm from Spartanburg, I always feel like, oh, we have that? You know, like whenever someone's like, oh, well, you know, I do this, or oh, I saw this. I was like, Spartanburg, we do that? Really? So, but that's cool. So, like, is it a big crowd? Because normally, like, when I think, like, walk with the mayor, I picture, like, a big crowd. Right? Kind of like in that Forrest Gump scene where he's, like, running on the road, you know, and it's, like, all these people behind him, you know?
Right.
Like,
No, we have a good number of anywhere from 25 to about 50 people that walk.
wow.
It's always someone new that you meet. And my objective here, again, you can meet the mayor. You can have a conversation with the mayor as we walk, but also talk to one of your neighbors, someone that may not live in your neighborhood, someone that you may not even know. Just have a conversation as we walk. We always walk a couple miles. And one thing I know that this is the right thing to do with the Miles with the Mayor. We have walked every third Saturday since I was sworn in. We have not had any rain that washed us out.
Really?
It was not so cold that we couldn't walk.
Okay.
It was not so hot that we couldn't walk. So I said that wasn't the mayor, you know, controlling the nature, Mother Nature. That's all God, man. And it's just an opportunity for us to get out and, again, just to have conversation. People from Spartanburg, we have folks from other cities that come out as well. And just a good time every third Saturday. I'm saying that now. Actually, the month of April, we're going to walk the second Saturday, which is this upcoming Saturday. So at Westgate Mall. And, you know, just learning, just get out. Have a conversation, like I said, with the mayor, with other elected officials, or just with neighbors, someone that you may just want to, hey, why did you come out to walk with the mayor?
Right.
Or what do you do? You know, what's your occupation? And again, it's at a slower pace. We walk a couple miles, 2.5, no more than 3. But
no limit, no more than 3.
Yeah, and we take our time. We take our time. But it's really a Saturday morning conversation.
That's cool. I like that. Because when I heard that you do that, I was like, oh, you know, I haven't really heard of like a mayor, trying to, I guess, like connect with his people like that. I really like that.
Very hands-on, man. People person, always have been. I mean, I want people to know who I am.
Right.
And I'm so proud to be the mayor of Spartanburg. And I want to taunt that. I want to get it out. I am, and I'm here for you.
Awesome. So I guess going back to, I guess, just a little bit about your childhood, kind of what kept you out of trouble and as a teen, I guess, like growing up with a single parent? Because I know that there are a lot of young people, you know, who are coming up currently who have a single parent, and that can be it can be a really interesting, like a make or break time for them. You know, so what are some of the advice that you would give to them to, I guess, like make it out safely? You know?
I can tell you, number one for me, have a dream. Have a dream. Dream about something big that you want to attain. I mean, no one ever dreams about being a high school dropout. No one ever dreams about being addicted to some substance. Right. You know, those are not, I'm talking about dream big. And one of my big dreams, and a friend of mine would remind me all the time, Jerome, you always talked about playing college football at a high level. You always talked about playing football at a high level. And so I would remember just playing college football. So what are some of the things I have to do in order to make it to that dream, to play college football? And notice I didn't say pro, and I didn't, but I said college football. And I played college football at a pretty high level and was pretty successful in my athletic endeavors, but also just being a person that listened to his mother. You mentioned I grew up in a single parent household. My father was killed when I was around 7. So my mother took on that role as mom, dad, disciplinarian, the corrector, you know, but she was there for us. I have an older sister and a younger brother, but she was there for us. She was that solid base that we could look to. She was there. I actually talked to her on my way over to do the interview, and she told me she watched the basketball game. The first time ever. She's 79 years old. watched a complete, entire college women basketball game. She said, I never watched an entire men basketball game, but that's just a conversation she and I had just on my way over here. But she was that solid rock for us, and but just to dream big, and so I knew I had to have pretty good grades in order to go to college, to play college football. I listened to my coaches who were mentors to me growing up, very instrumental in my development as a young man. And there were people in the community that also played a major part in my growth. If you ever in a room with me and attorney James Cheek, I will always give James Cheeks his flowers while he's still here because he helped me. He had me see some things that otherwise I would not have been exposed to as a young man. James got me involved in a couple of agencies and a couple of activities as a young teenager. Dr. Arthur Bruton was instrumental. My principal, Joe Delaney, so Mel Baxley, Alan Siddeley, and I name all these men just for that father figure type. My uncles played a major role, but Dr. Judith Bazemore kind of shaped me. She was my sixth grade teacher, sixth grade elementary teacher at Cleveland Elementary. And when I left Wake Forest, came back home to just a sub. She was the principal at Mary H. Wright Elementary School. And I just wanted to sub for a little bit, make a little money and move on to some big city or something. Right. And she said, no, I got a job for you. I have a job for you. So she was my sixth grade teacher, gave me my first full-time job. So, but that's what got me here and has kept me here.
Awesome. So it really sounds like you do believe in the it takes a village mindset, because that's in the theme song. Definitely. For the podcast. It takes a village. Yes. So it definitely sounds like you subscribe to that. Mm-hmm. When you were describing all of your different uncles, I thought that was really cool. Yes. I mean, as the title goes, my uncle and me, but I've had plenty of uncles that have paved the way to help Jerome Rice be the mayor of the city of Spartanburg. This is not something I've done on my own. And again, my mother was major in that. But to go along with the podcast, she was my uncle as well. She played a lot of roles for us. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like that. So I guess, which is, we're going to get to that later. Don't worry.
Okay.
So I guess, what are some of now Spartanburg, for those of you who don't know, Spartanburg is a very fast-growing city. There's a lot we got popping off around these parts here. Yes,
29 people a day on average.
Ooh.
29 people a day are moving to Spartanburg County.
Wow. I see all the construction that's going up, all the land, all the companies moving here.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering, what are some of the, challenges that you face as mayor with all this growth that Spartanburg has going on?
Just making sure we don't displace people. We want to make sure all of the growth. I mean, you mentioned it. When you see cranes in your city, the mayor, no matter where you are, the mayor gets a pat on the back if you see some cranes. So that means there's some development going on. There's some movement. There's some people spending money. But we want to make sure that everyone can reap the benefit of the construction that's going on. I mean, it goes without saying. Spartanburg is a city of about 38 or so people, population, 38,000. Right. Spartanburg County, 350 plus here. But out of that 38,000, we want everyone to benefit for whatever may be going on. If you say the baseball stadium that's going up, this is going to be a $450 million project.
Right.
The city has some skin in the game as well. So if the city has skin in the game, that means every citizen that pays taxes or what have you has some skin in the game for this baseball stadium and baseball team that's coming. So we want it to benefit everyone. Being downtown is strategic. We truly appreciate Johnson Development for their investment in Spartanburg because this could have been done anywhere, but they decided to do it here in Spartanburg and partner with the city, the county, the state, and others, and Diamond Baseball, where we will have this team right in the middle of downtown where everyone can enjoy. It's in walking distance of Highland neighborhood. It's in walking distance of Highland neighborhood. And I bring that out because when I was a young man, there was a baseball team here. They played over at Duncan Park. I lived on the north side of town, so I couldn't easily or readily available during the summer months really even walk or ride my bike to that side of town. That's a nice hump. But being centralized downtown, and I mentioned the north side, you can walk to the stadium. Highland, you can walk to the stadium, and other people may already have the resources to get there. And it will be a family-friendly event, cost-wise as well. It's not a major league game. It's not a basketball NCAA championship ticket. I mean, it's just a few dollars to go and enjoy an evening or outside with your family. It's going to be more than just baseball in that stadium as well. It will have a rep. It will have apartments. So you talk about employment that will come with the stadium. You're talking about tourism that will come with the stadium. We need people to park cars. You can possibly have a valet parking cars. We got more restaurants downtown, so you need people working at the restaurants. The hotel, the AC, there will be another hotel built, so we need people. Another one coming. Another one coming. Okay. So you would definitely need more people to be housed to work in that arena. And to say the baseball itself, marketing at the baseball stadium. Let's talk some of the higher level jobs. Marketing for the baseball team, communications for the baseball team, even doing the PA, the commentators and all that. Those are jobs not just everyone has.
And that's just off of one.
That's just off of one thing. One investment.
So when you have multiple things going up, you just see kind of like economic prosperity.
Yes, for everyone. For everyone.
Which is interesting because I actually saw a video on how there was a huge wealth transfer to the South because everyone was moving here. Right. And it was interesting because the more I thought about it, when I'm a car person,
Gotcha.
So I was just driving around Spartanburg and I'm like, okay, there's one G-Wagon, there's two G-Wagons.
There you go.
There's a McLaren. I was like, and when I saw the McLarens, I was like, we got those, And then I saw like one, and I was seeing different ones in different, because I was seeing like an orange one, a black one, a white one. I was like, okay, when did we? And I'm seeing a lot more Maseratis now, but I know Maseratis have dropped the prices. But I also know when you see McLarens, and I've seen a few Maybachs around here, so I'm like,
Justin, you're speaking my language. You're speaking my language, brother, because with that, I see a Bentley go by. I'm like, man.
Oh, okay. No, I've seen a few of the Lamborghini SUVs.
Let me look at that tag to see, make sure they South Carolina, they local. When they used to come, when the Panthers came, we would know the Panthers were in town, because we would see those different cars around town, right? So I'm right there with you, brother, right there with you.
I was like, these are, because those were the types of cars that I would see when I was living in Los Angeles.
Gotcha.
You would see like the Rolls Royce SUVs
on a regular.
You would see the Ferraris. You would see, I guess, like the Koenigsegg's or stuff like that. But to see them here in Spartanburg, I was like, oh, change. I was like, change gonna come, So I think that's
there
really cool
you go.
to see
The old song, the old song, change gonna come. I love that.
Yes. So tell me, what does a typical day as mayor look like?
I mean, as everyone is surprised to hear, the mayor is really a part-time position.
Really?
Yes, man.
I thought you'd be out working full-time.
Full-time commitment. Okay. Understand me, full-time commitment, but it really is a part-time position. So I still have my admin job with School District 7. I still work at Spartanburg High School as the transition specialist, and so in between my day, I could take a lunch to where I may make a meeting or not, or have coffee with someone early on before school starts, and then try to schedule as much as I can after work. 3:30 on. I'm here today doing the podcast after work. So it can. Again, I'll bring up my mother. My mother asks, "Do you do something every day?" Excuse me. Do you do something every day? I said, if I choose to, I can. I can. Right before I came in, I took a phone call. There's a soft opening for a relaunch of a restaurant downtown. They want me to appear, and I thought it was Thursday. But someone just called me and said, Mary, it's Tuesday instead of Thursday. So I will leave here and head downtown to be a part of that as well. But it's, I don't look at it as work, truly. Right. I look at it as a blessing. And not many people have held that title here in Spartanburg as the mayor. And I'm going to do all I can to let everyone know I am truly blessed. I'm humbled to have this as well. I know there are some responsibilities that come with it, but I'm also proud. I want folks to know who the mayor of Spartanburg is. And when you asked me early on about, wanting to do or how do you get to this position, I didn't say I grew up wanting to be the mayor. I didn't know who the mayor was. Mm-hmm. Not in no fault of the mayor during that time as a young man. I'm sure he was out and about, but that wasn't something that interests me. That wasn't something that maybe interests the mayor. But I want the kids in school to see me. I was at Cleveland Academy of Leadership before spring break. I was at Mary H. Wright. I was explaining to you guys early on for their spring play, and I'm always at the high school, so right. and I get that nonstop. I've been the mayor now for about 2.5 years, and the kids always, "Are you the mayor? You really the mayor?"
Oh, like they don't believe it.
They don't believe it sometimes. So, but I want them to know that a person that's an elected official that is willing to put himself out there, for the critiques, the whatever may come with it. But I'm doing this for the betterment of my home.
Right.
Every decision or every vote that I cast, I want people to understand that I'm doing it for the best interest of my home. I live here. Mm-hmm. My wife lives here. One son still stays here. My grandkids visit here. And I want them to know that those decisions affects my family. I'm not making this decision just because someone may want this over here or that over there. No, this affects my day-to-day.
Right. So
I mentioned grandkids. And I don't just make a decision for tomorrow or for next month. We're making decisions that are generational. It's generations down the road, 10, 20 years later, affects people with the decisions that we make on council. So I take this thing truly serious, and but it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Right, because you seem to enjoy what you do.
Oh yes.
I know you came in here earlier to meet with some of the
young folks.
Yes, to meet with the Cecil babies, and you were out shaking hands. Yes. You were taking pictures. Yes. I was like, "No, that's a mayor."
Yeah, and I want them to see that a lot of people will say you're the first black mayor. No, I'm not the first black mayor. James Talley was the first black mayor in Spartanburg. I'm the second black mayor. And when someone else come along that's a man of color, possibly will be the third black mayor or the first woman or the first black woman. But I would love it when we would get to a point, not just in Spartanburg, but a point in this country where it's just not the first anymore.
Right.
It's not the first. They're just the mayor. He's just the president. She's just the president.
Right.
That's what I dream of one day, when we get to that it's no more first. Mm-hmm. It's no more seconds. It's just she's the president, and she may happen to be an African-American woman.
I like that. And I think that's probably why some people kind of like, you're the mayor, because I think you are, more public facing,
right.
Where you're pretty active. We see you out a lot.
Yeah.
And I think
yeah.
when people think of high up, government positions, they don't really see them as being people that you can talk to or shake hands with, or they don't seem as approachable as you are.
Right. I'm a people person. I was a communication major at Wake Forest, and
okay, so this makes sense now. This makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah, I was a communication major at Wake Forest and television and broadcast, as a matter of fact. But part of my story is I told you I wanted to go to college to do what? Play football at a high level. So I didn't graduate from Wake Forest. I graduated from USC Upstate.
Oh,
so that's
I know the
just
green very well.
You know what I mean? So,
yes.
But that's also preparing yourself. I prepared myself to go to college and be a college athlete. I did, and I worked hard at it. But I didn't say I prepared myself to go for the academic piece and all. So I got behind and didn't graduate from Wake Forest. But I came home, went to school at USC Upstate, still saw the importance of education, and graduated from USC Upstate with the interdisciplinary degree from Upstate. Yeah. So that's just part of the story that goes. I mean, I set some goals very high, but I also left some things out that I needed to do along the way.
Right.
And so that's always looking back over how can I better me in order to help better people, in order to help better my family. When my sons look at me now, our oldest Shay, my wife, has a doctor's degree. She's actually officially Dr. Shay Rice.
Oh, okay. Dr. Shay Rice.
Dr. Shay Rice. And Talee, our oldest daughter, graduated from Winthrop University, education degree. Mara graduated from South Carolina State, early childhood. Jay, our oldest son, graduated from Charleston Southern. He has a criminal justice degree, and Javaris, a business major at USC Upstate, sophomore. So, how can I sit there and preach and talk about, hey man, you got to do this, and I don't have it. Right. I mean, I want to lead by example. Now, anything else farther than that bachelor's degree? Go to your mama. So.
Oh, trust me, I understand. Trust me, getting that next one, that master's, and that doctor, ain't no joke. It is no joke. It
truly isn't.
It is no joke. But I do because I do have a question that kind of goes into that. So, you were talking about, I guess, leading by example for the young people. Mm-hmm. So, for the young people who want to get into government or want to get into politics, what is your advice for them?
Do it. Do it. Just do it. What's the Nike slogan? Just do it. Get involved. Get involved somewhere. It's so much going on, and man, I'm so happy and elated when I see the young people involved. I haven't seen this number of young people. Just, I guess it may be the time that we're living in. They're woke. They understand what's going on. Get involved. Get involved with something. If it's just your neighborhood association, if you don't have a neighborhood association, make one, form one.
Okay.
Get involved with things that are going on downtown. We have boards and commission for the city. We have boards and commission for the county. And this podcast is going all over. So I'm not just talking about Spartanburg. I'm talking about whatever particular city or whatever particular state that you live in. Get involved. We don't see people that look like us making a lot of decisions. We are fortunate here in Spartanburg. We have a majority female council. We have a minority council here in Spartanburg. So be involved, be intentional with what you want to see change. Be that change agent.
So there's no set course. Because I know when people think of politics, it's like you need to go to this program, you need to get into this and network with this. So there's just
right. If you already know ahead of time that politics is your calling, or something that you want to, it's fine to go to school and major in political science and all that and follow that track. But if it's just something that hits you later on, like it hits me, I would always tell people I got into politics at a late age. I should be on my way out having some young person replace me.
Really?
Really. I mean, but also having someone that I can mentor along the way would be helpful. Who's that next city council representative? Right. Who's that next mayor? Who's that next county council representative? Who's the next state representative? Who's the next state senator? You know, then we go to the U.S. But also, who's the next CEO of this company that's coming downtown? Who's the next financial advisor? Right. So, I mean, get involved in wherever you are.
Okay. School
boards, like I said, county council, city council, boards and commission, libraries. You want to know what's going on, what our children are reading. Get involved.
So it sounds like then, along with that, you do a lot of networking too.
Oh, yes.
Because when you're talking about, get into this one, get into that one, you got to know the CEO of this company.
Yep. One Spartanburg does a great job with a young professionals. Young professional outings and young professional lunches.
I went to my first one.
See?
Went to my very first one. I think it was about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Good.
Yeah, so my first one.
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Don't stop. Don't stop. I want to see you there. Every so often, they may ask the mayor to stop by or give me a particular date that they have are having a young professional outing. And I just stop by just to say hey. Just to introduce myself. And again, to encourage you, to encourage the next brother or sister, stay involved, stay connected.
Okay, so it's all about networking, but also leaving something for the next generation, or like that's. I don't want to say that succession plan, but
but yes. I mean, it shouldn't be where if I'm thinking. I'm gonna run for mayor again eventually, but when it's time for me to take a step back, I want to be able to endorse this next person that's coming along. I want a young person that I can say, hey, that's our next mayor. It could be someone that's currently on city council or someone that's not in the politics,
right? But
that's our next. I would like to see that.
Awesome. So I do have a couple more questions here. Now, one of them, I was thinking just about all the things that were happening during. I don't want to say the word, for algorithmic purposes. But what was it like, sort of getting elected? Because you were elected like 2021.
Yeah.
So what was that like during that time, being mayor and sort of seeing the virus's effect on Spartanburg?
Yes,
what was that like?
During that time, it was a social just explosion with everything from George Floyd, COVID. We were at a very vulnerable time in our nation, but also here locally in Spartanburg. But to be a part and to be out front again, I mentioned my sons, and they were out and about. When it came to, we had a couple marches here in town for George Floyd, and I'm like, but guys, you have a decision maker, you have a policy maker here in your home. What do you want? That's what I think was so powerful. And again, me being in the school system, my wife being in the school system, and when they see Mayor Rice or they see Coach Rice and they see the female Coach Rice or Principal Rice, you have decision makers at your ready.
Right.
Guys, what can we do to make this better for you? I know what I'm thinking as an old head, as they would say, but what are you young folks thinking? What can we do to make this place better? What can we do to make this situation better? Our police chief will always tell you, he's a black African-American male, been in the profession for over 30 years, but he will tell you he wakes up every morning as a black man when he looks in the mirror. Every morning. It's not going to change.
True.
He has a young male son that's autistic. So he said, I really want to make sure we get this right. And his son, just as big as I am, I happened to see him at the store the other day. And he said, I want to really make sure we're hiring the right people, putting them in the right place. So my son is not affected by someone that's just out here ready to, because he looks a particular way or a particular size, and his son wouldn't necessarily understand in a regular conversation.
Right.
So, but I say all that to say, we have a unique situation here in Spartanburg where we have people in leadership that's looking out for everyone,
I like that. And I do think it is something unique, I was wondering, now, you said you're from the north side.
Yes.
So, you said you're from the north side. I'm curious as to, what do you think about all the development that's been... Because I've been there recently, and there's, a lot of it.
Yes.
And they're nice-looking apartments, so I'm curious as to what you think about all the development on the north side.
And again, when I think about north side and being on the inside, kind of knowing the ins and out, the guy that's building the majority of those apartments, John Montgomery, another local guy. He's a local man that's been here. The Montgomery family owned a lot, but he wants to invest again in his home. So, but you say, how do I feel about it? I grew up at 218 Weldon Street. If you're at Monarch,
you put the address right out there. 218 Weldon Street.
If you're at Monarch Cafe, and we out there in the little plaza area, and I know you know what I'm talking about. All of our listeners may not, but I could throw a stone to my house.
Really?
It's no longer there. It's no longer there, but I always like to give speeches and hang out on that side. I went to Fremont Elementary School, which is now the apartments. I mentioned early on in the podcast that I went to Cleveland as well. Family grew up in North Side, which is Victoria Gardens. Grandmother, best friends were there. So to say, what do I think about the development? Beautiful. Spartan Mills was the local mill that a lot of people worked at because it was a mill neighborhood. You could walk to work, walk back home. My mother actually worked at the mill for some time as well. But when we lost that textile and all, what was coming next? You have a medical school on the site where Spartan Mill used to be. You have Monarch Cafe, you have affordable apartments, you have market rate apartments, you have homes for first-time home buyers in that neighborhood. You have, again, Monarch Cafe, a little restaurant, pavilion, you have Saturday markets, you have a $15 million Dr. T.K. Gregg Community Center.
Now, I've been there.
Okay.
I've been there.
Community center. I didn't say recreation. That's a community center. That was formed because we wanted, when we closed down the swim center on the south side, we set aside funds to make sure we had a pool that our kids could learn to swim. Yes. So not only do they have a lap pool where we have Spartanburg High School uses for their swim meets. Okay. We have a recreation pool that some of our seniors come in for water aerobics. We teach young people how to swim. They also have a play area within the center in the pool. So it's really like 3 sections. One thing that's truly unique about the community center, Dr. T.K. Gregg Community Center, is that all 3rd graders from Cleveland Academy of Leadership go during the school day to learn how to swim.
Oh, that's good.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And people don't understand the significance there. We talked about me coaching football at one time. I was a football coach at Spartanburg High School for years. 2 awards that we give out memorializing 2 former players. Not because they were the best players, not because they were MVPs, because we lost them in swimming accidents. They drowned. African American males that didn't know water safety. That's all we're asking. So a lot of our kids miss out on that, but we want to bring it right back to the neighborhood. You have an opportunity to learn during the school day. I can remember taking my kids down to the swim center, doing water babies, activities. I mean, they're 2 years old and we got to put them underwater. I'm like, man, this is amazing. So our kids have those opportunities right there in the north side. Right. And it's more and more that I can go on about the north side. So, but that always brings a smile to my face that not only can I tell you about that neighborhood and what was there, but what continues to be there. I can even give you the name of the developer who I have a relationship there. That's what makes it even more special. One last story.
Okay.
One of the oldest businesses in Spartanburg, J.W. Woodward's funeral home.
Mm-hmm. Now I've gone past them. I think I've been to maybe like one funeral that was there.
J.W. Woodward funeral home. Dr. K. Woodward is the owner now. It was her dad's funeral home. Has been a staple in our community forever. They actually had rental property, and we rented our house, 218 Weldon Street, from Woodward's funeral home. Right. I can remember. My mom would write out the check. You need to go pay the rent. You had to go up to the funeral home to pay the rent. You walk into the funeral home, you go to the left. When you walk in the front door, go to the left. Those are the offices. Secretary, whomever there to take the money, record it, send you a receipt. If they're not in the offices, you have to go to the back.
Okay.
In the back, where the bodies are.
Right.
So I didn't always like going to the back. I'm trying to leave that check.
Understandable. It's perfectly understandable.
I'm trying to leave that check up front.
Right.
But I can remember some days where I had to take that check to the back just to get someone attention to come on up so I could pay the rent. But man, I mean, those are fun memories of my upbringing, of Northside and where it has come from and where it is today. So this here is just amazing. It's just amazing to see what we have.
Now, also, I just got a breaking news update here that Northside is where Fearless Edge Studios is being built, and we had actually Mikey D. Randy Alexander. They both did episodes here. Actually, Mr. Randy, or I call him Uncle Randy now, he just filmed his episode, so he'll be the one before yours. And then Uncle Mikey's episode is, I think it released like last week.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I think we're referring to up on Franklin Street at the old warehouses that they're putting a studio there.
And it's near TK Gray.
Yes, and we talked about that because, again, I told you early on, I was a communication major, television and broadcasting. You should see what we're doing at the high school with our young people, that they actually video the sporting events, they video any play, any concerts that's being held. So they do all the editing and all the camera work and all of that, right? So now with the studio coming in, these kids have an opportunity to leave the high school to go there, whereas Stisa can come in and we can record some of their folks that are performing. Right. I mean, man, it's just so much. Again, you said it early on. This is happening in Spartanburg.
Well, it's true. It's like
this is happening in Spartanburg.
Yeah, there's like a whole, I guess, like talent cultivation
yes.
And the thing is, growing up in Spartanburg, because when I was growing up, I'm just gonna tell you, when I was growing up, it was a very much like a Friday Night Lights, sports,
that's it,
football, everything. So as someone who is in the arts, it was difficult to find the outlet, to find the community, which is why we had to leave. We had to go to, which is why I've done acting in, New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, and everyone's like, oh, how come you aren't here? I'm like, because there wasn't the, I guess, the infrastructure here. Stisa didn't even exist.
Right. Understand.
My first agent was in North Carolina. Yeah. So when you think that just, I guess, 10 years ago, you would have had to have leave. And I was talking to Gail Owan. Okay. Awesome. Love her, but she's really big on keeping the talent here in Spartanburg. Yes. And she's like, we don't want to lose the talent. No, and it's interesting because that's kind of been, I guess, like my story. It's like if I've wanted to go, I guess, accelerate or go anywhere creatively, I've had to leave. So to see it kind of come here now, I was like, where was y'all at? I was like, I've been here. Like, where we?
What did we talk about earlier? You're that change that some of our talent folks that are coming through school now.
Right.
That we need. We need folks like you to stay home. There's a few sacrifices. I understand.
Yeah, yes, there are some big sacrifices.
There's a few sacrifices.
Lord knows there's some big sacrifices.
But we need you to be that change for the next actor or actress or songwriter or producer. They need you. They need you. And that's what I want to express. And it's no way, because I'm going to be right there with you, brother, holding you up. Be
well,
right there with you.
Well, thank you. Well, I believe that wraps it up today. Again, Mayor Rice, thank you for being on the show. It's awesome. You know, it's not every day you get to sit and actually chill out with the mayor of your town. So this right here was a really cool episode. If you want more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
It takes my uncles and me